Hey everyone, in front of the camera here, I have the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. This is the 555-1, which means we have upgraded materials from a standard Griptilian or Mini Griptilian. And this Dash 1 series has been around for about a year in Benchmade's Griptilian and Mini Griptilian line. So instead of the plastic polymer handles that we're used to in the Mini Griptilian, we have G10 handles. We have an open back construction, so we have these blue anodized standoffs. And we have an upgraded steel of CPM 20CV. And so the biggest complaint over the years of people owning the Mini Griptilian or full-size Griptilian is that it feels cheap and you're paying still a good amount of money because it's a Benchmade. Here's a Benchmade Mini Griptilian, standard Mini Griptilian. This was actually the first Benchmade I bought. This was actually bought at a surplus store near where I live. Really because that was really one of the only places to buy knives, and it was my first Benchmade. It's been in my collection for a while, and I bought it based off of other people's reviews and their praise of the Mini Griptilian. But as I said, these plasticky handles do feel a little cheap when you're paying a good amount for a knife, and these are still going around about $100 for Mini Griptilians. So yeah, you're paying about $100 for a knife, and you don't want something that feels cheap. And the Mini Griptilian usually was a little bit better because with it scaled down it didn't feel as plasticky, but a full-size Griptilian definitely had that sound. Let me try that again. That sound when you open it. And so it's nice that Benchmade is offering this Dash 1 series to upgrade, because most of the time you do have to go for something like an exclusive, like this REI G10 exclusive that they had with the full-size Griptilian. And this had S30V, so we did have an upgraded steel. But of course, there was a lot of aftermarket G10 handles and also stuff like the AWT to try to give the Griptilian more premium feel. So it's nice that Benchmade has put something in their line that is actually permanent. This is not an exclusive or anything, as I said. So this is something that they should have available for quite a while. And I also noticed that on Benchmade's website, where you can do custom Griptilians and barrages, or in mini barrages, you can actually choose G10 as a handle material as well now, just not in this gray G10. This is designed as the Dash 1 that's in production. So what's different about this? As I said, it looks very similar in profile and even like handle texture. This is a little bit different in texture, but it looks very similar to a standard Mini Griptilian. Now the blade shapes are different because this is the sheep's foot style and this is the standard drop point with the standard Mini Griptilian here. But as you can see, they really didn't do much changes. That they're about the same width, so not much different other than that this has different scales. It's not a closed construction, and you have an upgraded steel, and of course the pocket clip is different. So standard Mini Griptilian, you have a painted pocket clip, Emerson style, and of course that shows where that paint does wear off. This also is a painted pocket clip, I believe, as well, but this is a deep carry pocket clip. And if you don't really like that, you can always contact Benchmade and they'll usually ship you out another pocket clip. But I actually prefer the deep carry pocket clip, and I think it'll work pretty well on this knife. I've been carrying this around. I really like it. I really did enjoy the Mini Griptilian when I first got it. And I carried it for quite a while before I started just kind of diving in and buying tons of knives. But this really did impress me when I first started collecting knives. And so of course I went away from it a while, getting titanium frame locks and different other Benchmades and the 940 and whatnot. But this definitely brings me back to that idea of having just a nice small pocketable Benchmade, and with these upgraded materials it makes it a lot more of a joy to carry in my mind, even though yeah, it is more expensive than your standard Mini Griptilian. But I think that with this upgrade, and you still have that great ergonomics of the mini Griptilian, and the handle's really not changed in shape. You don't have a lot of grip on this, but it does provide some texture. But I think that it brings back the memories of when I was first carrying a mini Griptilian, but it offers these premium materials that I come to expect when I'm trying to buy knives nowadays. So this definitely comes into the rotation now more often because of these upgraded materials and the fact that it just overall is a much better knife than the mini Griptilian was before they upgraded these materials. So going over the knife, we have a blade length of just shy of 3 inches. I believe it's like 2.91 listed on most websites. So yeah, just under 3 inches, which means you're going to be legal in a lot of jurisdictions, which is good. Now, these sheep's foot versions, I believe, used to be all hollow ground, even the mini grip. This is a sheep's foot full-size Griptilian with AWT scales, and this is a hollow ground blade. You can detect that by running your finger down the blade there, and so that is hollow ground. Now, I believe when they came out with these, the Dash 1 series, they went to a flat grind. Even with the sheep's foot, all of the standard drop points are flat ground as well. I'm not sure why they went to a flat ground, but I don't really mind it. Still looks great. I still like that sheep's foot profile. But yeah, so we have a blade length that is legal in probably most jurisdictions, at least in the US. No thumb stud. We have a round deployment hole, which is standard on these sheep's foot models, which is it's kind of neat because you get kind of that Spyderco feel, but you also have an access lock, so pretty neat. G10 is well finished, and of course we also have blue G10 liners that are in between the handles, which they actually are separate materials. This is so it's layered G10 essentially, and we have these nice blue anodized standoffs. And it's really neat when Benchmade does little anodized standoffs, kind of like in this REI exclusive G10 Griptilian. So yeah, really nice touch. And of course, you can either keep the pocket clip that it comes with, which is a deep carry, 2 screws connecting this pocket clip. You can get an aftermarket pocket clip, or you can do the standard Emerson or split arrow pocket clip on this, because you have the ability to mount all those different options based on the screw pattern there. So even though they went with a 2 screw pocket clip, they left you the option to still do the Emerson style pocket clip. It has an access lock, which works well. Deployment works well. Yeah, overall it's great. And so these are more expensive than the mini Griptilians were. So mini Griptilians are usually retailing about $100 now. Everywhere has to have the same prices as Benchmade because they came up with that policy. So you're not going to really find a very cheap mini Griptilian unless you're looking at someone selling it online by themselves. But through a retailer, you're going to find these about $93 to $100 based on whatever pattern you get with the mini Griptilian. And this G10 version is coming in about, I think, $165. So yeah, you're paying about $65 to $70 based on the version of the G10 or the Dash 1 Griptilian. But the thing is, you're getting better handles. You're getting an upgraded steel. These were in 154 cm, and these are in CPM 20 CV. And so you're getting all these upgrades, which I think for the money is worth it, because if you're going to buy aftermarket G10 scales, you'd pay probably at least that much, and you still wouldn't have the upgraded steel. And CPM 20 CV is supposed to be very similar to Bowler M390 or CTS 204P. So you're getting a premium steel that is out there in the market. Now, if you want to do a custom Griptilian on Benchmade's website, you can get G10 handles, which are available in black G10, Coyote Tan G10, and I believe a Forest Green G10. And you're not able to do any kind of customization with the standoffs. You are able to choose different steels as well. You can choose CPM 20CV on that customization, but the thing is, when you do it through Benchmade's website, you're going to be paying $210 for a G10 handled and CPM 20 CV knife. So buying it as a -1 series does make it cheaper, and you do get those blue anodized standoffs. But if you want to do a custom version of the mini Griptilian or full-size Griptilian with the G10 handles, and you don't want the gray, you want something else like the black or the forest green or the desert tan, and you can also put different markings on the blade. You can do that through Benchmade's website, but it will be more expensive using the CPM 20 CV steel. Of course, you can choose different steels on the website if you want a different steel. You can even, I think, do CPM M4 through that site. So overall, this is a great EDC knife. I'm really impressed with what Benchmade has done. It's been a while since I've purchased anything like a Griptilian or anything for a while. I think the last one I purchased was the AWT, and I think that like total that would be about the same, because I got it put together through AWT, so I think that was about $160 as well, and that still has a 154 cm steel. So you had the Benchmade logo there, Mel Pardue design, CPM 20 CV, and even though I was late to the game on getting this, this is still number 59 of 1,000 of first production, so I'm not sure if this was bought by a customer, returned to the knife retailer, and then shipped out, or it was just kind of in the back of their inventory. But I actually was not expecting to get a first production knife. So let's go into weight. Now this is going to be a little bit different because the two mini Griptilians I have different blade shapes, but should still give you kind of a good idea. A standard mini Griptilian, it's going to come in 2.75 ounces. And this one with the G10 handles is going to be a little bit heavier at 2.82 ounces. So not hardly any difference, which is pretty cool because you're getting all this upgraded material, but you're not really sacrificing the light carry weight of the mini Griptilian. It does feel heavier in the hand though. Even though it's not a lot heavier, it does feel a lot heavier in the hand for some reason. But it still feels good in the hand though. It still feels the ergonomics are great on this, and that's one of the great things about the mini Griptilian and the full-size Griptilian. Now, compared to these two standard full-size Griptilian and the REI exclusive G10 Griptilian, this does feel very heavy, and I'm not sure how it compares to a full-size one of the new -1s, but this does feel a lot heavier. So let's kind of give that comparison. Full-size Griptilian, 3.8 ounces. Let's see what the REI exclusive was. 4.51 ounces. So yeah, it does seem a lot. Yeah, it is a lot heavier. I mean, not extremely, but yeah, you can definitely notice that. Maybe they did the G10 design a little bit different with this one, but it does feel a good amount heavier. But overall, I think the -1 series for the full size and the mini grip is a great move on Benchmade because they're eliminating, or at least solving, a lot of the issues of people having to go outside of Benchmade to either buy custom scales like the AWT or the different G10 options that different people have come out with. I think this is a great option. I think that this has already sold pretty well through Benchmade, and I think it still will continue to sell well. And it might seem a little bit pricey, but you got to consider the materials you're getting, and you are getting a Benchmade, and that always means it's more expensive than your Kershaws and even some of your Spydercos, because hey, it's a Benchmade. And they've had quality control issues over the last maybe 2 years or so. But this one seems to be doing pretty well. The centering is just slightly off, but it's nothing where I don't think it's going to bug me too much, especially the fact that I rotate blades through my carry system quite often. I don't think this is going to see really any hard use as well, but it should be able to hold up to any decently hard use you put it through with that access lock and that great steel. Wouldn't be trying to baton any wood with this, but hey, I think that this is definitely a great offering by Benchmade. I'm glad they came out with it. I was kind of late to the game getting this, but hey, I'm glad I did, because it reminded me of when I first got a mini Griptilian, when I was first into collecting knives, and reminded me of how much of a joy it was to get that knife. It was my first access lock knife because it was my first Benchmade. But I remember how much of a joy it was to just mess around with that access lock, and yeah, it's great. It's really ergonomic. And I like that it retains that from the standard mini Griptilian. So yeah, that's the Benchmade mini Griptilian 555-1. Available at most major knife retailers. So definitely check it out if you are interested in it, or if you are a big fan of the standard Griptilian line, but you kind of fell out of it because of the lack of upgraded materials. So that's all for this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And as always, thanks for watching.